Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to plant classification. What are the main cellular features of the beings of plant kingdom? The typical plant cell are eukaryotic, that is, they have a nucleus. Autotrophic, that is, they produce their own food. And photosynthetic, they use light to make food. Plant cells also have chloroplasts and a cell wall, a structure exterior to the plasma membrane, and it is made up of cellulose. How different are animal cells from plant cells? While plant cells are eukaryotic, autotrophic, photosynthetic, and have chloroplast and cell wall, the animal cells are eukaryotic, heterotrophs, and do not present chloroplast nor cell wall. Do plants have tissue organization and specialized organs? Plants have specialized organs like the reproductive organs, roots, limbs, leaves, and differentiated tissues, vesicular tissue. In tracheophytes, they have support tissues like the parenchyma and many others. What are the subkingdoms into which plant kingdom is divided? The kingdom Plantae is divided into two big subkingdoms, the bryophytes and the tracheophytes. Tracheophytes, we have the pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. The criteria for the division is the presence of the conductive tissues, what we call the vesicular tissues. What is the difference between bryophytes and tracheophytes? Bryophytes are non-vesicular plants. These include the mosses, liverwood, hornwoods. That is, they do not have conductive system for transport of sugar, water, and nutrients. Whereas tracheophyte plants, they are vesicular plants. They have conductive structures. What are the four main groups into which the study of plant is divided? In botany, The plant kingdom is divided into bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. What is the difference between cryptogamic and phanelogamic plants? Cryptogamic or hidden sex organs plants are those that do not present flowers or seeds. They comprise of the bryophytes and pteridophytes. Phanelogamic plants are those having seeds. They comprise of gymnosperms and angiosperms. What are the two divisions of angiosperms? Angiosperms are divided into monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous. What are the three basic sexual life cycles studied in biology? Which of them corresponds to metagenesis? Which of them is the human life cycle? Sexual reproduction may take place through three different types of life cycles. Haplonitic, being haploid; haplobiotic, a single type of being, cycle; diplotic, the being of haploid; and diplobiotic cycle, two types of beings, one haploid and the other diploid. The diplobiotic cycle is known as alternation of generation or metagenesis. In human, the cycle is diplontic. Haplobiotic, a single diploid being. What respectively are zygotic meiosis, gametic meiosis, and sporadic meiosis? Zygotic meiosis is one that occurs in haplobiotic life cycle. Gametes from adult haploid individual unite forming the diploid zygote. The zygote undergoes meiosis and generates 4 haploid cells that by mitosis develop into adult individual. Therefore, in zygotic meiosis, the cell that undergoes meiosis is the zygote, and the gametes are formed by mitosis. Gametic meiosis is that in which meiosis produces gametes, i.e., haploid cells that each of which can unite with another gamete, forming the zygote. It occurs in diplotic haplobiotic life cycle, like for example in humans, in which the individual is diploid and meiosis forms the gametes. Sporoid meiosis happens in metagenesis, alternation of generation, or diplobiotic life cycle. In this life cycle, cells from the diploid individual, called sporophyte, undergoes meiosis, producing haploid spores that do not unite with others, but instead develop by mitosis into haploid individual called gametophytes. In this life cycle, the gametes are made by mitosis from cells of the gametophytes. Are gametes always made by meiosis? In plant life cycle, diplobiotic life cycle, and in haplobiotic life cycle, gametes are made by mitosis and not by meiosis. Obviously, in some stage of this sexual life cycle, meiosis must occur. Why is the plant life cycle known as alternation of generations? Plant life cycle is known as alternation of generation because this cycle, there are two different forms of living being that alternate each other. One haploid and the other diploid. Alternation of generation is also called diplobiotic cycle or metagenesis, and it does not occur in plants. Other living beings like cnidarians present the cycle. For each of the three types of life cycles, what is the respective diploid of the individual that represents the adult or lasting form? The haplobiotic life cycle, the single and lasting form is haploid. Diplotic haplobiotic life cycle, it is diploid. In the diplobiotic life cycle, the lasting individual that alternates with the intermediate forms by maybe haploid, gametophytes, as bryophytes, or the diploid sporophyte as in pteridophytes. Do plants present only sexual reproduction? There are sexual forms of reproduction in plants. Some naturally detached pieces of roots, limbs, or leaves develop into another complete individual. Artificial sexual reproduction of plants can be obtained by means of grafting or cutting. Thank you very much for participating in plant classification. Please do like, share, and subscribe.